So we're going to start by doing a light paint splatter with our toothbrush. First, the reason we have this yellow or orange or white color pencil is to write your name on the back because it shows up really well. And then you're going to do your class code as well. And you're going to circle your class code. And then you're going to flip over your paper and it's going to be horizontal. Don't need this anymore. So now we're going to switch to our toothbrush. And it's kind of hard to get it in this cup, but you're just going to get a little bit on the bristles. Kind of got to squish it in there. And then you're using your index finger, which is your pointer finger, and be mindful of your surroundings, your table mates, your clothes. You're just doing a light sprinkle. You want it very light because you have to wait for this step. I probably shouldn't have these over here. We have to wait for this to dry before we can move on. So you do not want big chunks at all. Moving the brush around. This is going to be our night galaxy star sky. So if you want some areas with more, like maybe you're making a Milky Way, you can do that. Make sure you get the edges. It's okay if some of this paint gets on the table, just don't want a ton, obviously. All right. Now our paintbrush is going to go in the dirty bucket that's by the sink so it can soak, so I can wash it easier later. And this is going to have to dry for like a couple minutes. So we're going to scooch it aside. Now we're going to grab our printer paper. You're going to tear a strip from our printer paper. I have it the tall way in front of me. It's hard to see, but this is the long way. I'm going to grab a tissue for my finger quickly. Get the white paint off before I touch this paper. So we're going to have one hand down, and we want to tear a jagged line. We don't want it very straight because this is going to be the line of our northern lights. So the reason I'm holding it down on my table is because I don't want to tear a straight line quickly. And since it's flat on my table, I can control it so I can turn. I'm going to use this and I'm going to keep this because I'm going to have to do it 4 times total. Now I'm going to go to my chalk pastels. I'm going to pick what's called analogous colors. Analogous colors are colors that are touching each other on the color wheel. For example, yellow touches orange, which touches red, orange, which touches red. Okay? So these 4 colors would be great for analogous colors. You're choosing analogous so that if these pastels touch and mix, they do not make brown. I'm going to grab 3 to start. Now I'm going to color, this is going to sound silly, but while my speckles still are drying, on the edge, the bumpy edge of my paper, I'm making little sort of dust piles. Just enough dust so that in a moment I can smudge it and it will show up on my starry sky. Now you can do what I'm doing and do one color at a time, or if you want to save some time, you do all your one color, next color. So I'm obviously doing a pattern here. All right. Now, my stars still have to dry, so that's just hanging out. I don't have to worry about my chalk drying or anything. It's just chalk. I now need a white oil pastel, which I forgot to grab. Let me go grab one. All right. My white oil pastels are kept in this huge container. It has a ton of colors. We don't need to worry about the others. We just want the white. So 1 white is all you need. A student helped me organize those yesterday, so let's keep them organized. So we're going to, below the halfway point, draw a horizon line. So here's half. We want to go a little below. You could say a third. Horizon line is a horizontal line from one side to the other. Then you're going to draw some mountains. And your mountains can be any shape you want, any size. You're then going to, we're going to color in this top mountain. I like to do a little shadow. Some kids prefer to color it in completely. So I'm just doing the left side of each of my mountains. And then we are going to make a mirror image below. So this is meant to be ice or water. So whatever I have up here is going to be mirrored below, opposite. And then down here is going to be colored in lightly, just to show that it's a reflection. Usually this part is done with chalk in the original lesson, and they smudge this a little bit. You can try, but oil pastel won't smudge as easily. So I just like to do a light sort of drawing. Now I'm ready to place my chalk. I'm going to do it at an angle. You notice this paper does not fit horizontally. It's too short. Watching. So I've set it down, and now I'm going to, since I did enough chalk to make some dust, I'm going to smudge it upright, sort of at an angle. Same angle for the whole northern light. The more dust, the brighter the color will be. And then when I remove my paper, I'm left with the northern lights. Then you're going to tear another strip. Choose different analogous colors. You're going to do it 4 times. How many? 4. When you're done, listening ears. When you're done, the next step in your ice is to do the same colors that you did in the sky, little dashes. Your white speckles will be dry by now. So then it will be safe to blend these. My white speckles aren't quite dry, so they might smudge. But you would blend these gently horizontally. And then I'm not going to paint this part, but the last step is a tiny paintbrush with black paint, some pine trees, and their reflection. I'll show you the picture version of that. So you're going to start, name on the back with colored pencil and class code. Start with your toothbrush splatter using your index finger, light splatter. Then you start tearing your paper and choosing your colors.